This fire here is really lighting up the block. This is a 3-alarm structure fire you can see behind me. And as you mentioned, we were first on scene here. They got the call about 2:40 in the morning. At 3 o'clock we arrived. And this is some of the video that you can see right now when we arrived here earlier this morning. Flames just lighting up the sky here on 30th Avenue on the South Hill. And we have an exclusive interview here this morning. This is Tom Iverson. Now, Tom lives right across the street, and he said he heard multiple gunshots and looked out his back window. Now, Tom, where this spot is on the ground, which I kind of want to showcase right here, this is where you saw the suspect standing over the pastor's body.
Yes, yesterday morning. Actually, it was afternoon, about 1:50, somewhere around there. And yeah, I heard gunshots and ran into my bedroom, grabbed my gun, and it sounded just like it was in my backyard.
Just around the bend over here is where that 911 caller called in to say that they found a body floating in the river. And indeed, that body was Dr. John Marshall, the missing surgeon that went missing yesterday. Where this plane slid off is on the south end of the taxiway, and we're just about, I would say, southeast of that. So this was the best vantage point that we had to see what was going on with this plane and the operations and the emergency efforts trying to get this plane back on the runway. So in about 2 hours, investigators are going to be back here on scene to piece together what happened with this deadly crash that happened behind me. They are actively searching for that suspect. At this point, they actually have Air 1, a chopper from Spokane County, in the air, and a canine crew. And what you can see behind me is that they have these roads blocked off down here. Now, this is West Cougar Gulch Road and West Meadowbrook Loop. They have this blocked off because they are currently searching for that suspect. Now, where I'm standing in front of, this is the Spokane Baptist Church, and right behind me, this is where the first fire was set here this morning. And as you said, this is the second time in a month that this church has been set on fire, and you can see that the restoration company there has already stopped by to kind of patch things up. Well, we're now here at Comstock Park, just off 29th Avenue, and I'm sitting on this very large tree that's basically covering up the sign. I mean, as driving by, if you didn't know where you were going, I mean, you can hardly see the sign that's over there. But throughout this park, dozens of big trees have fallen over here because of this windstorm, you know, really ripping up grass, leaving a lot of debris. But luckily, this one is off the road here for the most part. We have now moved off to 40th and Grand, and I'm literally standing in the midst of what it looks like 3 different large trees here. This power pole just literally snapped in half. It's draping here, and it's actually creating a really low hanging power line. That's where you can see this orange tape that's set up right here. We've had a lot of people walking through this street this morning that have had to like dodge under this. So the orange tape has been put up just to let people know. And I don't know if you can see, but even beyond this, another large tree blocking off the street over there as it keeps going down 39th here up on the South Hill. But again, that is not the only damage the storm has caused on 39th. Over here, this home, a tree, again, snapped over the top of this home. You can see it literally uprooting out of the grass here, and the grass just coming bulging out of the ground. From the storm on Tuesday, so many homes were damaged by trees, including this one behind me. But you'll never guess what room this tree landed in.
And I had no idea, you know, if anyone was alive. It was terrifying.
Like clockwork, the family living here dishes up for Taco Tuesday. But before the family could even sit down for their first bite, a tree snapped right above their home, piercing through 2 floors.
Right through here is the baby's room, and right where it came down, straight through there.
Once a peaceful room where 6-week-old Henry used to sleep, that looked like this, destroyed within seconds. Henry lying in his crib only moments before the tree came crashing through.
For some reason, I had put him in his carrier on me while I was cooking dinner. Normally I would have him in the crib or the rocker. So just some intuition.
It's like a dinner scene frozen in time, but instead covered in dust from a tree rattling the home so hard.
It went straight through his crib, all the way down to our basement. So it speared through original hardwood floors and went down to 2nd level.
Kayla says it's still unbelievable to her how things played out that night, considering all the damage you see, leaving her family untouched. She says the sounds she heard immediately following that crash gave her the biggest relief of all.
The girls started crying, and my husband and dog came towards me, and that was the best thing ever, was hearing him and the dog and my 3 kids crying.
Because of the extensive damage that this home suffered, the homeowners tell me through the generosity of their friends and resources that they have, it could be months before they're able to live in this home again. In Spokane, Molly Trotter, KREM 2 News.
Wow.
This massive tree here just cracked into this home, cracked the side of the home here, actually broke a few windows. I want you to take a look at, just how big this tree is. This is by no means the trunk of the tree, but it's just huge, leaving a ton of debris. It's a very exciting time for Liberty High School, as one of their janitors is in the running for the Janitor of the Year award. Let's go ahead and meet Jerry Otteson. Just like clockwork,
My tools and stuff are back in the corner back here.
Jerry Otteson starts a new day the same way for nearly 40 years. Knowing these halls like the back of his hand, I had Jerry show us around, and I soon learned his days at Liberty High School out in Spangle started even before he started working here.
Graduated in 1976, and then a year later they offered me the job. It's like a family here, so I just kept staying, and I talk about once in a while leaving, and then I go, why should I leave? It's just like family. Liberty is my life.
Jerry was nominated by his boss for the Cintas Janitor of the Year award. He tells me if he won, it would help his family get around outside of work.
I told my wife that it's money we wouldn't have, so I told her that maybe we'll put it down payment for a car, because I need a car.
The winner would get $5,000 for themselves and another $5,000 for their school.
Thanks.
But Jerry says the real prize
Hey Jerry,
Hey,
how you doing?
Good.
is the love he gets from the students every day.
If you walk out in the hall or this or that, they'll say hi to you and just make you feel like you're home. And
Many staff and students are happy to see this guy getting out from behind the scenes.
It's a very difficult job he has, and sometimes it's a thankless job. And so the fact that he's getting the appreciation he deserves for it, I'm glad to see it. You can see he's got a little bit more of a pep in his step, but the guy comes to work every day, works hard, and I think part of it is the love for the school.
These days, you can catch an even bigger smile on Jerry's face. He says he's thankful that these people he calls his family would even think to nominate him for a big national award.
I never thought I would end up doing something like this, so it would make me feel so happy, and towards my retirement that I finally did something.
With another day done, Jerry says regardless of the voting outcome, this nomination will be a highlight of his career he'll never forget. So here's how you can vote for Jerry. If you go online, type in your search engine Cintas Janitor of the Year, you'll have this page that pops up. On this page, you'll see all 10 of the contestants, including Jerry there at the bottom. But if you scroll all the way down, you'll be able to vote for Jerry or any other janitor of your choice. And you have up until April 15th to vote.
Now I'm going to be dragging Jim across the ground here. Now talk about the purpose of training with this here.
This is a training for a victim in a live fire scenario. So we have a fallen firefighter, patient, whoever. This is to help us prepare to drag them outside of a burning building.
Nice weather out, you got some deals going,
Beautiful.
You got some new options, some fun rides. Woo, we're getting up pretty high here. Oh, my stomach's gonna drop. All right, well, very cool. We're just gonna keep this ride going, and I'm gonna send it back to the studio. Woo! Here we go, starting to run. I couldn't have wished for a better day to run.
So many people. Kids so far. Beautiful.
I don't think I could have trained to dodge this many people. It was nuts.
Nice.
Then, before I knew it, dun dun dun.
This is a good little fun between.
The dreaded Doomsday Hill I've been warned about, but guess what?
Ran all the way up Doomsday Hill. Let's go.
I got it. I own that hill and didn't even slow down at all. As much as my legs were telling me I was done, I had a little bit more gas in the tank to sprint right across that finish line.
My toes.
How do you feel after finishing your first Bloomsday?
Good, considering I just sprinted the last maybe a quarter mile.
Amazing.
Maybe not. I don't know.
What are you gonna do next?
Drink some more water. Enjoy a nice juicy burger. What I do after every race.
And?
Enjoy the sunshine.
And that's a wrap. I'll definitely see you all at the finish line next year. Well, this story was a really fun one to put together. I met a group of guys who play on a softball team, and the youngest players on that team are 65 years old. Now, the heart and soul of this team has a very special birthday coming up this month, and he says what's kept him out on the field for so long is by thinking young.
There you go.
When we get out here, we're all 17 years old.
This group of living legends get together with one goal: to just swing away. And one person on this field has been behind the plate
No good, no good.
for more than 60 years.
A long fly ball, deep left field.
Irv Sussman goes head-to-head with guys 25 years younger than he is, and he turns 80 this year, making him the oldest softball player in the area. This is a picture of when he started this game back in 1950.
My reflexes have slowed, but mentally I feel they're still there until I try to make a quick move and realize that it's not there.
Pitching, hitting, and coaching.
Stay in front of it, you got it.
Each spring, Irv hits the field with his teammates, all of whom are in a league of their own, going against the odds for their age.
I've had most of the senior problems, but I've recovered, take my medication, I'm feeling good.
As Irv puts it, his secret for staying in the game?
I got 3 kids, 4 grandkids, 7 great-grandkids, and they keep me young. I think young. There she goes!
So I asked Irv if he's ever thought about hanging up the glove.
Well, I told my wife, unless something happens to me, I'm not playing a day over 90. When I'm 90, that's it.
He says the only reason he'd leave the field is so that he wouldn't slow down his team.
Oh, nice scoop.
Now, if this looks like something fun to you and you want to get on a rec league team of your own, just contact your local Parks and Rec department to get more information. In Spokane, Molly Trotter, KREM 2 News.